The 30 Laws of Life by Vance Lance. Law 1. Expect the unexpected. Life throws many hurdles and obstacles your way, but being flexible and able to expect change and move freely with it is a huge benefit. When life throws you a variable that's unexpected, move with grace and recover quickly because it's just the beginning of more challenges and changes. The better you respond to unforeseen events, and the better you move through trials and tribulations, the easier it'll get because the people that do what's hard will have an easy life, while the people that do what's easy will have a hard life. So be prepared for anything and expect the unexpected. It's a part of life. Just not just gonna be smooth roads, there's gonna be a lot of ups and downs. But good things will come for those who persevere and get through it. Law 2. Only two things are certain: death and taxes. Nobody lives forever. So that means you have to be ready to pass on to the next life one day. It takes a lot of money to make it through life, but it can also be quite expensive to pay for a funeral. One of the biggest reasons why the pilgrims left Great Britain was taxation without representation. But right now, a lot of us are paying taxes without our wants and needs being represented. Every morning when I wake up, I thank the Lord for putting breath in my body and getting me out of my bed because He didn't have to do it, but He did. Before you complain about how hard your life is, think about the next man or woman and what they're going through because it could always be worse. But make the most of your life and treat everybody as well as you can because you never know when you get up out of here. Law 3. Keep your friends close, but your enemies closer. You don't always get to pick and choose who your friends will be. Sometimes they're the people that you were close with as a kid. Sometimes it's the people you go meet in college or the ones that you have a lot in common with. But a lot of times your friends are only your friends for a reason and a season. Your enemies might not actually be your enemies. They could be rivals. They could be somebody that has a common interest that make you better, that push you or you push them to new heights and new limits. But over time, as y'all age, you start to see that you guys had a lot in common and you were just on different sides. But in the end, some of your enemies become closer than your friends because you have all those stories to tell about the things y'all overcame, the things y'all put each other through. So keep your friends close, but your enemies closer. Law 4. Be a leader, not a follower. Everybody has to endure manipulation and peer pressure, but how you respond determines your character. And the more you say no, the better off your life will be. If everybody is laying down and trying to tell you to lay down, you don't have to lay down. People say smoke this because they're smoking that. You don't have to smoke it. People saying drink this because they're drinking this. You don't have to drink that. Be able to be an independent, critical thinker and do what you know is right. Listen to those mentors and family members and parents and guardians that told you right from wrong and never forget it because those needs to be what you adorn your head with. Always use common sense and make sure you lead because followers never set a trend. They're just followers. Law 5. Adversity makes you stronger. Adversity is when you meet certain challenges or roadblocks, when things don't go your way, but you still get through that tough day. In life, you're going to face a lot of adversity, and it makes you stronger truly because it makes you more disciplined and you're proud of yourself for the things that you overcame. A lot of people quit and give up on themselves before they meet their success and reach their goals. There was a story once about a man that gave up on gold. He was just 3 feet short of it, but the person that was the groundskeeper was able to hire the sonographer to find fault lines in the ground to drill for oil. So when he found the oil, he took the other man's fortune for his own. because he didn't give up and he was able to take advantage of the other man's adversity. Law 6. Cherish your loved ones. We don't get to choose the family that we're born into, but they took care of us. And a lot of our parents were babies having babies. They made mistakes. They're not perfect, but no one is. Your mom and your dad, or whoever raised you, and your uncles and your aunts, did everything within their power to protect and shelter you and make life good. And in their old age, they deserve to be cherished. They're the old generation. This is our generation, and we want the future generation to grow up on similar morals and values. And if we do right by them, they will cherish us. Always cherish all your loved ones, even family, friends, because people don't have a lot of support, even the older ones. So being able to show how much they mean to us pays dividends in the long run. Law 7. Choose your partner carefully. The most important decision in one's life is who we choose to marry or have kids with. So if you can't see yourself spending the rest of your life with that person, then don't get with them to begin with. Love is strong and passionate in the beginning, but over time that tends to fade. So don't give a person just because of how they look. Think about their other qualities on the inside. Like, are they good with finances, or do they do the things well that you struggle with? Because originally people chose to be with their better half so they can do the things that they can't do, and in tandem and duo they make a complete unit. Be very careful who your partner is that you choose, not just in romance but in business and all facets of life. Law 8. Take advantage of every opportunity. We tend to get the most opportunities when we're younger, even though we're most prepared for it at an older age. But when opportunity meets, keep it. The job that you have now, keep it. Work it as long as you can. And always be on the lookout for friends in high places that have been watching from afar, waiting for you to be ready. Because when moment comes, then go ahead and make the most of it. Don't look back. Do everything you can. Learn everything you can from the situation. When the opportunity ends, that means that you've done with that phase of your life, and take that into the next job. Use it to add as another tool to your tool belt, or another weapon on your bat belt, as if you were a superhero. Every opportunity grants you a new skill, a new lesson, and a new way and ability to live life. Law 9. Don't burn bridges. The way you leave a person's life is oftentimes far more important than the way you entered it. If every time you get fired or are leaving a job, you just walk out, storm out, cuss out the boss, don't shake their hand, how do you think it's going to go on the next job? You don't know who people know. Your boss on this job might be the brother or the sister of your boss on the next job. And if they do that reference check, then it's over before it even begins. You want to always be known as a good person, a hard worker. Everyone is sensitive. And if they hear the way that you treated people the last place you were at, it might ruin your chance of starting that next phase, because they don't want to go through the same thing you inflicted upon others. Law 10. Honor thy mother and father. Honor thy mother and father, and thy days shall be long and plentiful on earth. It's a full verse from the Bible. Exodus chapter 20, verse 12. Ephesians chapter 6, verse 2. Our parents were never meant to be our best friends. They're the ones that are responsible for making sure we have all the instructions and discernment we need to make it through life once we leave their household. They worry about us and love us unconditionally, and they always want what's best, even if they don't know how to show it or vocalize it. They also always wonder what we're up to when we're not in their sight. If you want a long life, remember what your father taught you, and the ways your mother protected you and nurtured you, because it is a commandment from the Bible. Law 11. Have a plan to get there and back home. My grandfather always used to tell me, don't leave this house unless you know for sure you can get back home. If that means having enough money to call a Lyft or Uber, then that's what it takes, because you don't want to be stranded. There's times where I had to walk 15 miles from the east side all the way back to my house. And nowadays, the world has changed a lot and it's a lot more dangerous. If you don't have a friend or a car or whatever it takes transportation wise, once the event is over, don't leave the house. It's not worth it. Always have a plan to get there and back home, because people are getting snatched up left and right. And I would hate it if anything were to happen to you, especially if you've been warned. Be safe and be smart. Law 12. Save your money. If you don't have 4 times or 5 times the amount of what you're about to buy, then you can't afford it. There's so many commercials and ads on things that we can buy. We never run out of things that we can buy. That's on purpose. Save your money for a rainy day, because you never know when you're going to come up short and an emergency is right around the corner. We're supposed to have at least 6 months saved of what our rent costs and our bills as an emergency fund. We need a rainy day fund, and we need a nest egg. And then also, we're supposed to have at least $10,000 before you move to a new city. Life can get expensive, and once you run out of funds, you run out of ways to have fun. So always have money in your pocket, and also don't share how much money you have with others. Law 13. Keep your goals to yourself. People can have 1,001 ideas, but it doesn't mean anything until it's executed. People aren't happy for you, even members of your own family. As soon as you say something out loud to the wrong person, they'll try to thwart it and dissuade you and make it impossible for you to achieve it. I'm serious. Be careful what you say around others, because they will try to steal your ideas. Silence is golden, especially in this social media age. So lots of people copy, and a lot of people can't come up with their own original plan. So if you have something that's divine, that's sent to you from God, then keep it to yourself until it manifests and is complete, because people are not happy for you and they don't want to see you win at all times. So always remember to be silent and keep your goals to yourself. Law 14. Don't take things personal. Sometimes a person is having a bad day and chooses to spaz out on you, but based on how you respond determines what happens next. If you just laugh it off and don't even phase it, don't even let it phase you, don't even let it enter your inner matrix, then that's the best possible solution. Because once they see you down, they got every ammunition they need to keep going and throw you off your path. I've learned time and time again that when a person is dissing or roasting or joining or whatever, it's really just the insecurity of themselves they're trying to place on you. So don't let other people's limiting beliefs or what they got going on mess up your momentum. That's just them. It's not you. Always focus on what you got to do. Be the best you, and don't let that person affect you. Law 15. Trust your gut. Your gut can act as a second brain. Trust your instincts when you feel like you're in danger, because you most likely 9 times out of 10 are. Be aware of your surroundings. Mind your P's and Q's. Use all 5 of your senses at all times. It's also wise not to indulge in any substances when you're out in public, or really at all, honestly. You never want to be in a lower vibration than you're meant to be. You want your mind to be clear, because your eyes can deceive you if you're not in your sober state. People most often take advantage of those that are intoxicated or are at a weakened impairment, because they know they can't take you at full strength. If you have to go somewhere that's dangerous, go with a friend or family member, but always trust your gut because you never know who's out to get you. Law 16. If people get jealous, you're doing something right. I've never been a jealous person because there's not something that anyone that does it that I can't do better than them if I don't truly try to execute myself. And that's a belief that you too should also hold. It breaks my heart when somebody tells me that they're jealous of me because I always tried to be a teacher. But if a person is jealous, you can't control that. And you also can't control if they don't like you, no matter how hard you try to make them like you. It's a waste of time. With that being said, most likely the reason why they are jealous is because they know they can do what you do, but they're not putting forth that effort. So don't let that phase you. Abraham Lincoln once took out an article in a newspaper against a rival, and the man was so jealous that he challenged him to a duel. But if the gun jammed, if that gun would have went off, Abraham Lincoln would have never been the 16th president. So show grace and show mercy because sometimes everybody else can say something, but we have to take the high ground. And eventually they will appreciate you and see the error of your ways. Just keep being you. Law 17. Patience is a virtue. Those who wait receive the greatest rewards in life. We've all heard the parable of the tortoise and the hare. Slow and steady wins the race. People that are patient are normally the most emotionally mature and they're able to pick up on things that others miss. When you practice patience with others, they return the favor. People move through life so fast in a hurry to get nowhere fast. Slow down, wait, and receive. You'll be surprised what happens once you just breathe and realize that eventually you'll get to where you're going. The first shall be last, and the last shall be first. Be patient because it truly is a virtue. Law 18. History repeats itself. In the book of Joshua, chapter 9 and chapter 10, it talks about the prophet Joshua and the Israelites defeating a king named Ai. And after that, the earth stood still for a whole day. Who's to say that won't or can't happen again? Also, what we went through in 2021 happened 1,000 years earlier with the Black Plague. Also, what we're dealing with right now with these immigration agents we went through during slave times and the slave captures. It's good to know history because it does repeat itself and there's nothing new under the sun. I recommend looking at the History Channel on YouTube or PBS Frontline documentaries. There's a lot of great documentaries that will educate us to prepare us for things to come. Law 19. The Bible is the living word of God. Learn it well. Also known as the Good Book or Basic Instruction Before Leaving Earth, holds so many key valuable insights on how to live a good life and make it to heaven. It'll teach us how to pray. It'll give us the scriptures that we need when those come that try to test our faith. When you're alone or don't have anybody to lean on, God will be there. It is His living word. Jesus, Yeshua, and El Shaddai, I've heard are names that people say sometimes when they're about to be abducted by an alien, and the abduction will stop immediately. There's power in the word, and I recommend you guys read it as often as you can because it makes you wiser and it gives you more life. Law 20. Reading is a superpower. It saddens me how many of us are illiterate or choose our phones or other screens over reading a good book. Reading literally restores your brain and adds new cells and neuron receptors. Always get lost in a good book. It doesn't have to be a Harry Potter long book. It can be a children's fiction book, just get yourself started because reading makes it so you can interpret and comprehend things that you couldn't before. Read magazines, newspapers, don't just do audiobooks. Anything you can get your hands on that you can be right there at your level is a cheat code when so many others are doing so many different things besides reading. It'll help you get ahead of the game and keep you there. Knowledge is power, and reading truly is a superpower. Law 21. Everyone needs time to themselves. There comes a time when people just want to be left alone and recover. Maybe to take a nap, listen to some music, or just be in their own company. We all have limited amounts of energy and only so much attention we can give to others. So respect people's boundaries. Don't make it to the point where you're a nuisance and get to overstay your welcome. You don't want to be annoying and lose that friendship or that bond because people are only human. They can only do so much for so long, and we all need time to rest. So when a person asks to be left alone, respect that. Don't be a pest. Don't nag. Just give them that space because you will want them to do that for you. Once again, everyone needs time to themselves. It's very important for recovery and it makes it so we're at peace. Law 22. Be respectful. We hear a lot of people say respect your elders, but I also want to add respect the youth. They don't have always the cognition to realize when you're giving good advice or you're just being disrespectful to them. So remember the golden rule: treat people the way you want to be treated. Respect goes a long way. To those who give it, they get it in return. So don't go places looking to cause harm or be the biggest guy on the block. Think about how your words affect others because people that aren't respectful get disrespected far more often than those who are. It is truly a godsend for those that are still respectful in today's day and age. It goes a long way and makes a huge difference. Be polite and be respectful. Law 23. Your reputation precedes you. It's always for the best to maintain a good reputation. Some people may view me as a hero, others a lame. It doesn't matter what they think of me, just the ones that know me and what my Lord and Savior thinks of me and my loved ones and my friends and my family. Your reputation has so much to do with how the world identifies you, but you can always do a good job of strengthening it by being consistent and treating others that you meet with kindness and helping out a stranger in need. But be wise when you do it. Use discernment because some people might find your reputation and try to fault you for a weakness that doesn't exist. So just because you're a good person and have a great reputation doesn't mean you have to be that way towards everyone. Law 24. Make yourself indispensable. Always put your best foot forward. And the way you do anything is the way you do everything. So give 110% in all you do. Whether it's making your bed in the morning, showing up to work early, or showing up to work every day as much as you can. If you are a hard worker and do everything that's asked of you and go beyond, then you will be indispensable and you're irreplaceable in return. People love people that are one of a kind, that are a dime in a dozen, and are a true enigma. People that can't be replaced are hard to find because so many people give lackluster effort and just go through the motions. So in today's day and age, if you can truly make yourself indispensable, you will also make yourself unforgettable. Law 25. Forgive but don't forget. You have to forgive yourself and then you can forgive others. But when you do forgive, don't forget, or else you give them room to make that same violation to you once again. People are hurt, and hurt people hurt others. That does not excuse them for their actions, but you being the better person the bigger person and the person that has the correct emotional response can move on and heal from that situation. Nobody gets through life unscratched or unharmed. We all get scratches and bruises, but sticks and stones may break your bones, but words will never hurt you. Remember that the power of forgiveness has so much grace and profound release that it's something that you should truly experience. You don't want to go through life holding grudges because that'll eat up your life force and make you live so much faster. Law 26. Your tribe will find you. The hardest, most perilous part of every journey is always the beginning. But with good faith and continued effort, you will find your tribe. They will find you. You always think about the movies where the hero starts off by themselves, but eventually the help comes and it gets to the point where they fight the big battle, they defeat the bad guy, and then the day gets saved. It kind of works that in reality also. All you have to do is be courageous and go places that you might be a little bit uncomfortable going at first. Get out of your comfort zone, leave your home, be in new environments, expand your horizons. And you'll be surprised how many people are like minded, just like you, like the same things you like, and love to do the same things you do. It's very encouraging when you find your tribe, and it's very rewarding in the end. Law 27. Keep the blinders on. A racehorse wears blinders to stay focused on the track ahead. It can't see to the left or the right of it, or else it'll get distracted. We have to be like that also. We have a plethora of distractions in front of us right now, from social media to TV to keeping up with the Joneses, the fear of missing out. But if you can keep those blinders on, stay the course, and only focus on having a one track mind until you accomplish your goals, you will truly be unstoppable, my friend. All you have to do is do one thing at a time. Keep doing that one thing over and over again until it becomes easy and routine. Then you can move on to the next. But don't finish that until you finish what you start. Law 28. Focus is key. The ability to focus on the task at hand seems to be a lost art. If you can do that, you have superpowers, because executing one task at a time, doing what it takes to finish it until completion through focus is amazing. Attention is running rampant. We have 1,000 thoughts a second, and trying to keep up with all of them can be overwhelming. So if you can focus once again on whatever you have to do in order to get through your day, you're doing very well. So many people struggle with that, and it's not to be made fun of or to be saying that you're better than the next, but keep at it, keep doing it until you have more focus, and then you will grow. Law 29. Everybody is not your friend. That is a hard truth to come to terms with, but it's true. Some people aren't going to like you just because of who you are. And that is also considered to be a good thing because they show you who they really are. Like the old saying goes, once a person shows you their true colors, believe them. And don't waste your time trying to make them your friend, because it'll only cause more harm than good. The sooner that you realize in life that people want to harm you at times, and you can discern who should be your friend and who's worth spending time with, and choosing them over the bad ones, your life will be so much easier and so much better. Don't make the mistakes that I made, going places I didn't belong, trying to make friends that didn't want to be my friend, and putting myself in harm's way. Take that heed, warning, and advice. Law 30. Be humble. This might be the most important out of all the laws, yet for so many of us, it is the hardest one to accomplish. The ego is the enemy, and pride comes before the fall. It's best to let others compliment us before we compliment ourselves, because that could be seen as vain. Nobody likes a braggart or a know-it-all. Having humility shows strength and confidence silently, and that's what it takes to be a good human being. To let others bask in the glory and others yet still just enjoy your company because they feel safe and sincere respect around you. Being humble is the ultimate cheat code and the ultimate law for life because humbleness is everything. Thank you. This has been Advanced Lance. Please don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell because I worked really hard on this video so you can stay tuned for future updates. Once again, this has been Advanced Lance.